You're back on the Kitlab, it's your boy AK, and today, right here in the lab, we have the brand new Concave Halo Plus. Now, probably thinking, hang on a minute, where did these come from? Because we haven't seen anything concave in a while, but there's a good reason for it, because they have actually updated their silos. So previously, you had a few silos, the Halo Plus, you also had the Volt, and Concave's initial theory was all about power. How can we increase power in your shots? So what they had was this thing called AccuStrike technology. And the idea was that it was a tab placed on the top of the laces that when you connect it with the ball would ping off and you'd get up to 15% extra power. However, they had to revamp that. I'm sure there's a few issues as to why, but one of the things that I felt it was the sheer comfort when you put on the boot. It was very awkward to put on, and there was a constant irritation on top of the foot. So they are back with a bang and introducing a brand new design. Let's start off with the main features of the boot. The first thing you'll notice is that there is an inner lining to the boot. You've got a neoprene lining, which in essence kind of works like your typical dynamic fit collars that you see in the modern market of football boots. But what it does provide is a comfortable fit, very snug. I was actually rather surprised in terms of how comfortable it was. And also a great fit for the boot itself. Now the boot's fit in particular is slightly wider than normal. However, it does feel quite snug once you slide it in, especially for someone who has narrow feet like myself. The upper is actually made of something called maize. Now, this is a mixture of mesh combined with a synthetic to create kind of damp feel, not quite like leather, but good enough to rival the likes of Kangalite and other synthetic materials out there. Now onto the USP that I was talking about. So the AccuStrike technology no longer exists, and what you have instead is the AccuStrike technology. So what you have is ARS, which is the AccuStrike railing system, and the idea is that you have two lines on either side of the laces towards the top of the boot in particular. And what they do is, one, when lacing the ball, enable you to create better contact and strike truer. So wherever you actually aim to put that ball, the idea from Concave is that you get to put it there. And secondly, when you're wrapping the ball, for example, with the inside of the foot, you have this little ledge. So it sticks up and out slightly. So as you make contact, the idea is that you wrap around the ball that little bit more than you would without it. So you can get a bit more whip. Or if you're using outside of the foot, same thing again. So whether that works or not, you have to stay tuned for a play test. But in my head, it kind of makes sense. Spinning the boot around, we move on to the Soleplate. So they've got a TPU injected Soleplate in a beautiful gunmetal chrome finish. I'm not gonna lie, the finish is actually rather stunning. It reminds me a lot of the current Adidas and Nike releases of late. The actual Soleplate itself, what you find is you have almost chevron-like studs towards the heel counter. And towards the forefoot, you have chevrons at the front of the toe box, and you've got some on the lateral side. However, what's surprising to me is that the medial side has two conicals by the balls of the feet, and then two in the center. Now, I'm not quite sure as to why you'd put the conicals in the center. I feel as though it should be the opposite way around and have conicals toward the outside of the foot in particular, where you're gonna do your planting and turning, and the center of the foot by the balls of the feet should be more aggressive, hence having chevrons there. But they do say that the idea is to ensure that players have the best of both traction and rotational ability on the pitch. So what's my verdict on the boot? Well, I'll tell you this, the boot is aimed at players who are creative and in the center of the park, hence why you have things like the embossed coating on the upper, especially around the high touch areas, so going from the instep through to the toe box and slightly towards the outstep. Overall, in terms of weight, it's not too bad. It's around the 200 gram to 205 gram mark. So not the lightest boot in the market, but again, it's certainly not the heaviest by any means. In terms of the design, there's something missing. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it quite yet, but I feel as though it's quite plain and safe. Maybe it's because they're introducing new technology that they feel they need to start off with something a bit more simple before they go on and do some wild things to the boot itself. But the colorway, of course, is very cool. Black and red never goes wrong. And of course, a chrome sole plate looks great. What do you guys think about the boot, however? Let me know in the comments below. And do you think that the AccuStrike technology rivals the likes of, for example, the ridges you have on the Phantom Venom? Maybe we should put both these boots to the test to see which one is more accurate. Other than that, massive thumbs up, subscribe to the Kitlab, and of course, we'll catch you on the next episode. Make it signing out.